Hi, my name is Dominic Lee and welcome to another episode of China Retold. Today we're going to evaluate whether Mainland China's relaxation of the pandemic control policies has came at a right time. But before we begin, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends so you won't miss another one of our videos. Since 8th of January this year, the mainland and Hong Kong has officially resumed quarantine-free customs clearance. The port, which has been suspended for nearly 3 years, has finally returned to norm. The welcome home sign can be seen everywhere in the airport, and scenes of welcoming relatives with flowers we can see everywhere as well. Chief Executive of Hong Kong, John Lee said in the first 2 days after the resumption of the customs clearance, the operations of all ports were very smooth. Since the opening of the online reservation system, only about 17 of the reserved places have been used, which means that the upper limit of people crossing the border at 50,000, which the authorities have set, is in line with actual needs. And with the Lunar New Year approaching, it is expected that the number of people crossing the border will continue to rise. John Lee said he will continue to observe the situation and review operations with the mainland government to determine whether the quota needs to be adjusted. Some people complained that the time for customs clearance was too late, and they believe that it should have been conducted in July and August last year, which is seen as the best time for customs clearance, because during that time, many countries had relaxed their quarantine measures and declared that the pandemic was over. Those who hold this view is ignorant of China's demographic. China has a population of 1.4 billion people, which is more than 3 times that of Europe and 4 times that of America. If the relaxation of the pandemic control is not conducted in a controlled manner, the consequences will be disastrous. The cumulative death toll in mainland China from COVID stood at 5,235 cases, or 3.7 deaths per million people. And that number was until the borders opened. The cumulative number of deaths, however, in the United States is close to 1.1 million people, with 3,214 deaths per million people. The per capita mortality in the United States due to COVID is 869 times that of China. In other words, even if the per capita mortality in China were the same as that in the United States, the number of deaths in China would have reached more than 4.5 million. Recently, with the relaxation of pandemic prevention and control in mainland China, the number of infections has risen rapidly. The United States, Japan, and other countries have responded immediately by restricting the entry of Chinese tourists. However, these measures are unfounded, as the Minister of Health of Singapore recently stated that in the last 4 weeks of 2022, the number of confirmed cases entering Singapore from China were actually less than 5% of total new imported cases, which is far lower than the proportion of imported cases from other countries and regions. So there's absolutely no need to tighten pandemic prevention against China, and it shows that Chinese easing strategy and timing have had little impact on exchanges and communications. Additionally, after the 5th wave of the epidemic in Hong Kong, the expert team had more opportunity to evaluate the mobility and mortality rates of the Omicron variant, as well as the barrier effect of the vaccine. Also during the second half of last year, when the outbreak broke out in many mainland provinces, experts had gained valuable experience of the characteristics of Omicron through numerous actual battles. After confirming that the risk has been reduced to an acceptable range, the Central People's Government decisively relaxed the epidemic prevention and controlled according to the recommendations of experts. The epidemic prevention policies of the mainland and Hong Kong are closed, and the objective conditions for customs clearance are met. It should be said that this timing was neither too early nor too late, but rather very appropriate. Once again, thanks for watching this episode of the China Retold. If you have not yet already, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share these videos with your friends. And I'll see you next time. Peace.